go live as we start the show. Sometimes I just get caught up in the song and I just like I'll play it for too long. So let's get the show started.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
My volume low or yours?
I don't know. I think yours is, maybe. Is that better?
Yeah. You hear it louder, Sierra?
Yeah.
Y'all ready for this? It's killing my ears. But that's all right. I'm getting the way to figure this out. So tonight, of course, we have Amy with us. Amy, hello. And
Hello.
we have Lil Miss. What's it? I can't read that part.
Bite the bullet.
Bite the bullet. Sierra, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, too, on short notice.
Nah, you're good. I had nothing else to do.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I don't know how I caught you on Facebook. I saw a comment or a post. I don't pay attention to a lot of different, I mean, everyone, so many people are on there, but when somebody or something just catches my eye, like started out with Amy and her stuff, and I'm like, God, I love this chick, man. She's got balls. I mean, she's just like, it was funny to watch her interact with people. And then I've seen your stuff, and I saw that you were mutual friends with Elmer E.T. Williams, and so usually the people that like him are, I don't know, interesting people. And we had a chance to listen to your podcast the other night. That was really great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you and what you're doing and you've got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, you've got podcasts and kind of stuff.
Yeah, I keep myself busy. I'm writing for, I think I'm up to 5 blogs now, including Right Wing News and Wayne Dupree, who I am on the radio with. I do have my radio show Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then he records those and puts them on SoundCloud so that anybody who wants to can listen to the podcast. And I'm starting some new projects as well, a prepping blog and my own online store. So we'll see how those go. So yeah, it's pretty busy.
So what's the deal with your online store? I saw something about that you're going to be making some bumper stickers and T-shirts and stuff.
Just stuff to sort of that people can buy to show their support for different candidates or presidential hopefuls, and it's going to have everybody that you can think of on there that is either conservative or libertarian or Tea Party candidate, so that you can find who you support and buy stuff like bumper stickers and buttons that you can just, show your support and start a conversation with other people about that person.
Nice.
Cool.
So have you started the store yet, or what's like? How are you going to run that, or who's hosting it, and that kind of thing?
It's on Zazzle, and I did start, and I have some stuff for Ted Cruz and some other stuff for Scott Walker.
Whoa,
and then I got busy.
You don't like Ted Cruz, do you?
No, I don't.
Jeez. Just teasing.
No, I love Ted Cruz.
We're big fans of Ted Cruz here.
He's my ideal candidate, but
Yeah, mine too.
So I'm gonna have some stuff put up for other people, but it's all a matter of coming up with designs that are eye-catching, and I can't be on point 24/7, so I've got to get some people to help me with that.
Right. Artist-wise, I mean, do you draw? What do you do for like designs? How do you put them together through a?
I use PicMonkey, which I started using to edit my selfies, but there is a design effect that you can basically just put text and pictures together and make it look good. So that's what I've been using, and I've been playing around with it for a little bit, and I like the results of it so far.
It's called PicMonkey.
Yep.
It's PIC though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just typed it in, and that's all I got. I'm just kidding. That's when I say something stupid, that usually pops up. So is that a free program or what? I've never heard of PicMonkey.
It is free. There are certain features that you have to be they call them Royale members, and that is you do have to pay, I think, every month or once a year for a subscription. But I just use the free applications, and it works pretty well for me.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna check that out myself. I'm always looking for different designs and things to do for the blast. I've got with my headphones. I just had to show them. I don't know if you could see that, but I've got some V-Moda headphones, and they have metal plates on the side of it, and so I ordered them. They're in what do you call, like laser engraved in there, so you can come up different colors and stuff like that. So that was just something I wanted to give a try. But,
Did you see it says the blast on it?
Yeah. Yeah. So hey, let's start into a couple of things on the show. The very first thing that I wanted to talk about just for a second here, just because it broke my heart, and it's been going on for way too long, like what, probably 3 years now. Isn't Pastor Saeed from your area? Isn't he, Sierra?
I don't know.
He is. I'm just kidding. I think he's from. Do you mind saying where you're from, or would you rather not?
Oh no, that's fine. But I don't. I think I might have heard some about him being from around Mountain Home.
Okay. Well, I don't mean like your area, but like your state. He's from.
Yeah, Idaho. Yeah.
Idaho.
But I don't remember specifically.
Idaho boy pens heartbreaking birthday invitation to father jailed in Iran. And with the amount of letters going back and forth, pen pals that Obama and his pen pals over there in Iran, I'm just shocked. And he had him over for dinner at the White House, that kind of thing. I'm not the only one that's shocked about this, I'm sure. But now it gets heartbreaking when you see.
You're not shocked.
Yeah, of course we can't be shocked, right? But it's heartbreaking. So you know,
it is heartbreaking, but we're not shocked. We know exactly why.
Yeah.
He's
true.
still in prison.
Yeah. And here was a thing. The son. I didn't read the whole thing until just now, really. But the son said, you know, for Dad, March 17th. That's his birthday yesterday. Obama told the little kid face to face, eyeball to eyeball, that he would do everything that he could to help him out, and we know where that kind of crap goes. And did you guys read the letter?
No.
I didn't.
I didn't read it either. I'm gonna just read it real quick because I didn't read it, and I was kind of waiting to read it for when we went online.
It's blurry on my screen, so I can't read it anyways.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes the way that this internet connection goes, it's a strong connection, but when we're looking at it, it might come out blurry, and then after it's recorded and we can see the show, it comes out nice and clear, thank goodness. So the father wrote to his son, "To my dear beloved son Jacob, I saw your beautiful birthday invitation that you had made me, and I know how much you wanted me to be there on your birthday. Daddy loves you so much. I long to be there for your birthday, make this reunion happen, but my chains are keeping me from you." I mean, I don't even know that. I'm probably not going to read this whole thing, to be honest with you, because it's too heartbreaking. To have to tell your son that you're freaking in chains. When we know that Obama could do something about this, dirtball, just a dirtball.
Yep. He's a Christian, so he's going to be treated like garbage by this administration.
Yeah. But anyways, so what did you guys see that in the news, or what do you comment or question? Not question, but comment on it, or?
I actually haven't seen it. I didn't see that. No.
You didn't. Okay.
No.
Okay, so Pastor Saeed, 34-year-old pastor, his parents live in Iran. He went over
you
there.
mean the whole story itself?
Yeah, do you know the story itself?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know that. I didn't
I
see
thought you meant
Oh,
the letter. Yeah.
okay, okay. So, yeah, several times. I mean, Obama's talked with the family, not several times, I think probably twice over the last 3 years. And here it is, the kid's birthday, and his dad's still there. So, I don't know, it's just heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking. It's infuriating, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I almost think, Congress, from Republican, Democrat, all of them should be demanding. They should be very vocal about this and demanding about it. And all of them are kind of to blame to a certain extent, because they should be raising holy hell over this.
Well, I think, especially for the last 6 to 8 months, they've been, Republicans have been on their own helping with Bibi Netanyahu's re-election.
They didn't even put that in the letter. The Republicans, 47 of them, I don't think they even put that in the letter. That I would have said in the letter, I would have said, as a starting point to talking to you guys about any deal at all, let our pastor come home. Then we'll talk. They didn't even bring it up. So.
Well, it actually wasn't even submitted. It was just an open letter to the. Did you see that? It actually was never sent to Iran.
Oh, so they just published it in the news.
It was an open letter, yeah.
Huh.
So.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I just found that out yesterday in an article.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
They were saying before everyone, started to freak out about it, and continued to freak out about it, making such a big deal about it, calling them traitors and all that kind of stuff.
Never even got sent to their government. It's just an open letter.
Right. Right.
Wow.
Yep.
I don't know why people didn't mention that even louder and stronger. I don't know.
Because they push so much stuff at you. It's like throwing the spaghetti into the wall. You know what I mean? When it's all coming at you, only some of it sticks, and only some of it's going to get through.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest just falls to the floor and goes into the trash. It's how the leftists work.
Right. So Pastor Saeed, that's that. One of the other things that I had brought up, we all saw that hate. My wife walks in and she goes, "Are you putting that word? You're putting bitch on the screen and you're putting hateful rate." I go, she's like, "What are you calling people that for?" I said, I'm describing what this girl is. She's a hateful, racist bitch. And I can't even say her name, but she's the one who came out and Azalea something?
Azalea Banks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Banks. Okay.
More like a Azalea Skanks. If you look at her Twitter feed, she's definitely a skank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually watched part of an interview that she did on the radio, and I taped it, part of it, that I was thinking maybe we'll play during this segment just for like a minute or two, so you really grasp just what a scumbag this is. But more than that, I'm going to point out something that from her little interview.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just something I caught. Just something I was thinking. So of course you're not going to read all this, but she comes out and that started the controversy. "I hate everything about this country." Rapper reveals she hates fat white Americans and racist conservative white people. Rapper Azalea Banks hates fat white Americans and believes that those who live in middle America are these racist conservative white people who live on their farms. She probably doesn't eat salad or anything because, you know, farms and produce and just
Meat,
in America.
pork,
Yeah, meat, pork.
backyard barbecue, you know.
Exactly.
They're the only ones that keep you fed, you stupid skank. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And she
I
said this
digress.
in Playboy magazine, and I was gonna put a picture. I was gonna put a picture of her up there because she's standing there like full nude, and she's pouring milk all over herself, right? And it's not even chocolate milk, the bitch. I'm just kidding. Pouring white milk all over. So Banks, 23, also said that a part of her knows she's not supposed to be worshiping Jesus Christ. Now, is she saying that she does worship Jesus Christ? Because she says she knows she's not supposed to be. When I saw her interview, it didn't seem like she worships him to me. Calling it, among other sentimental things, it's unnatural to worship Jesus Christ. And she explained that, too, later in there. But when asked if she wants to leave the U.S., the rapper said yes, and then gave her reasons.
Back to the fat white Americans.
Yeah, that's a picture of her, and that picture has something to do with. I'll show you. Never mind, I missed that. Okay, so here's just part. I'm going to play part of her interview just so you can hear her foul mouth. But what she says here is the crux of what her problem is, and the only reason I really want to play this, to be honest with you, is that sometimes we'll sit there and just scratch our head and go, what the hell is wrong with these people? How are they, so damn racist? But this is part of what she believes, the hypocrisy of this. Let's see if I can get this to play.
I feel just like in this country, whenever it comes to our things like black issues or black politics or black music or whatever, there's always this like undercurrent of kind of like a fuck you. There's always like a fuck y'all niggas, like y'all don't really own shit, like y'all don't have shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that Macklemore album wasn't better than the Drake record.
And Macklemore admitted his album wasn't better than Kendrick.
You know what I mean? That Iggy Azalea shit is not better than any fucking black girl that's rapping today.
She's worshiping Jesus right now.
And when they give those awards out, because the Grammys are supposed to be like accolades for artistic excellence. You get what I mean?
Now she'll get to the
Iggy
point
is
here.
not excellent, and the message I see when I see these Grammys being given out, like these, because it's bigger than just like playing the shit on the radio and I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? Like that's fine, bitch. Like do what you're gonna do. But I have a problem when you're trying to like say that it's hip hop and you're trying to like put it like up against black culture, like even like like Nicki Minaj over the past 2, 3, 4 years has done so much to kind of create this like
now here it comes.
Social presence and this like hold on just like like social consciousness, and then here you go like okay, so she's like re-up and Roman Reloaded, and then here you got fucking Iggy like reclassified, like you're trying to smudge out, you know what I mean? It's like you're trying to it's like a cultural smudging was what I see. And when they give these Grammys out,
here's the part.
all it says to white kids is like, oh yeah, you're great, you're amazing, you can do whatever you put your mind to, and it says to black kids, you don't have shit, you don't own shit, not even the shit you created for yourself, and it makes me upset. In that way.
And you know what? I think there is some conscious
Okay,
people who do that.
I don't even want to listen to the rest of it. But what she's saying is, and what she continued to say was that white kids and white people shouldn't ever be doing anything that could be associated with what blacks created. Well, I want to point out something. Look at her hair. That's not possible for a black person. That is white hair. Why doesn't she wear an afro?
Oh, look at Beyonce. She's bleached her skin light. She's done her nose to be like a white woman. She does her hair like a white woman.
Right.
Does her makeup like a white woman. I mean.
But if this girl.
Start with yourself. Start with your own culture. Start,
This girl and her.
Being proud of yourself.
Friends are upset that white people might do things that are quote unquote black only, and we're like going into their world and their place, then she should be wearing an afro right now, because that costs a lot of money and products and time, and to get her hair straight like a white person's. So, and nobody's ever pointed that out to her. So, I don't know. Anyway.
Oh no, still, she doesn't care.
It's so easy to call somebody a dirtbag. It's
what, 23 years old?
Yeah. I mean that it's just it's the easy way out, and I don't want to just sit there and call her a dirtbag and a scumbag, because that's not. She's lost. But just
I don't know about lost, but
just to point out the hypocrisy, she's walking around wearing white hair, and yet she's upset that a white person is like Ziggy Azalea or whatever her name is. I couldn't stand her music either, the white rapper girl or whatever. But she's upset because this white girl is rapping. Whatever.
One of her replies on Twitter says, "I'll go back to Africa when you go back to the top of the Caucasus Mountains and take smallpox, syphilis, and gonorrhea back with you." Because they didn't have any of that in Africa, and they still don't have it, right? It's so stupid. Sierra, I hate ignorance and stupid. I don't do stupid well. I'm not politically correct, and I call people like this on it. She's full of crap.
Yeah. Are you there, Sierra?
Listen, she might have frozen.
Sierra's frozen. She's frozen. Can you hear us? Knock 3 times if you can hear us, Sierra. Just kidding. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, this chick. She's a product of our lame media, our lame education system, our lame, just as a society, our lack of spine.
Mm-hmm.
Going along with all the crap we talked about last week, going along with all this politically correct crap. The minute we started kowtowing to that, we lost that next generation.
Yeah. I think Sarah's picture went away. I don't know if she's there. I don't know if she can hear us, or she might be coming back. Oh, she rejoined the call. Sarah got disgusted with that last segment and left. No, she didn't. She's trying to come back. She's trying to come back.
There she is.
Here she is. Stop talking about her.
My internet decided to
Crap out on
go
you.
down. There.
Yeah, that's the fun part of this. It does that sometimes.
I was saying I don't buy into the she's lost argument. I say that she's a product of our pathetic education system, our media, and political correctness gone awry.
You know, I mean,
because he wasn't even challenging anything of what she said. Not one thing. It's never challenged. The lies that they spew and the bullshit that they say is never challenged, because no one wants to look like a racist.
Playboy is an empire built by an old creepy white guy, and she had no problem posing for him and taking his money.
Right. They never do. I bet you she has back, not to sound racist, but I'm sure she goes to backyard barbecues and has the, what do you call them, spare ribs and stuff, I mean, most backyard barbecues have spare ribs and chicken and things like that. Where do you think those come from, honey? Those don't just come from the grocery store. They come from the Midwest farmers who feed you, you dope.
Watermelon. Farmers.
They even grow watermelons. Oh, I eat water. It's one of my favorite fruit. I'm not black. I'm going to call her.
We got a call.
Sierra, is she laughing at me?
Yeah, and we've got a caller on the blast.
We got a caller. Oh, I wonder who this could be.
You're cutting out. Caller.
Who was it?
Caller, you're cutting out. I don't know.
He didn't even introduce himself before he hung up?
No. And what the hell is going on with my screen? My screen keeps going wonky. Huh. Yeah.
Well, while you're getting that together, I was saying today I was supposed to go up. We had, I don't know if you know, Sierra, we had Chris Peranto from one of the Benghazi hero survivors on the show. And I was supposed to go up to meet him in New Hampshire today. And 2.5 hours later, and my GPS keeps bringing me back to the same point. That's a giant brick wall in the middle of a highway saying, "You've reached your destination." I'm like, no, I haven't really. I couldn't find him. I was like going through the Appalachia. It might as well have been the Appalachia up there. Back roads, farms, silos, broken down barns.
Really?
GPS was bringing me everywhere but where I needed to be. So when my gas tank started to go to just under a quarter full,
yeah,
I knew I needed to turn around and go back and find civilization. So the city girl doesn't do good lost in the woods.
What do you talk?
So I didn't get to see him. I didn't get to meet him.
What do you mean he was like in the woods?
No, my GPS brought me to the woods.
Oh.
New Hampshire, it's like half modern and half Appalachian Mountains. Okay.
Okay.
And my GPS was bringing me to the Appalachian Mountain Park. I could not find the gun shop at all. And they don't see fit to actually put the signs up that say what routes they were on. So the same Route 10, Route 12, and Route 101 are the same road, but there's no signs for any of them. But the GPS is.
It's too bad that he, like you guys didn't meet at a coffee shop or something like that.
Well, he was in Boston yesterday to do an interview. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And then last night he was in I think Stoneham, but I couldn't get yesterday off because I had taken today off, and I didn't find out about yesterday until after I had taken today off.
Gotcha.
So I didn't mind the hour-and-a-half drive up there, but
well, I'm sure that'd be kind of
just took me, after 2.5 hours, I was like, okay, I'm hitting the bring me home button on my GPS.
Wow. We're gonna have him back on the show, I think, after the movie comes out.
That'll be cool.
Didn't he promise that he would come on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sierra's camera stuck on her again.
You still there, Sierra? Just froze on.
She'll be back.
So we'll have to ask her opinion about that, though. Oh, there she is. She's back.
Ask her opinion about what?
About the, go back to.
Go back to Africa?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, Azalea Banks?
Yeah. And she froze. He froze.
Froze. We should just play that song Frozen right now. See, something is really wonky with the internet right now because my Google Plus thing.
Yours too?
Well, no, what's happening is mine looks fine except it keeps going to blue screen and I can see through it like there's a blue sheet in front of me. That's I don't know. Every time I talk is what happens.
Really?
Oh well. Let's move on to Around the Water Cooler. Okay, so what I wanted to do was just basically, let me pull this up. I had a whole bunch of topics loaded, and I thought, well, you know what? Instead of sitting that down and planning out all these topics, which I do have several planned out, but how many times during the day when we go in and whatever it is that we do for work, in an office or around somewhere and you run into somebody and a topic comes up. Somebody just says something out of the blue. You have to be prepared to be able to talk about it, right? At least somewhat. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up something on the screen, and basically we'll either hit the topic or go snooze, boring, like whatever, move on. But just these are just basic water cooler stuff that some people pop up and say. Like, for instance, after Netanyahu wins, my brother, for the last 2 or 3 days, has been just screaming about how Netanyahu is going to lose. And he was proud of it because he's very proud that Obama and his people were going to stifle Netanyahu. I mean, some of the names he called him are something. Just a
That's
little.
your brother?
Little background, Sarah. My whole family. Well, my mom's got 18 brothers and sisters. My dad's got 11, so I've got 29 aunts and uncles, and 162 first cousins, and they all live mostly up in Seattle-ish area, and they've all drinking the Kool-Aid, and everybody is liberal, hard liberal. So much so that one of my younger brothers, his wife, she got famous up in Seattle for being like the tennis shoe mom type who would go out and hold signs with a bunch of friends on the bridge, and they stopped Walmart from coming into their town one time. And so Patty Murray, the senator, and a few others thought that she was just wonderful and had her run for the state senate as a liberal. I mean, they're just. One time we went up to visit years ago, and it was back when Clinton was running against GW, or George Bush the First. And we spent the night with them, and I thought it would be kind of funny to take a George Bush yard sign, and I pounded it into their yard before we left. We left at about 6:30 in the morning, and they come out an hour or two later and saw the George Bush sign in their front yard, and it was literally like I had gone in and murdered their whole family, or like they acted like I took their dogs and cats and strung them up all over the place and murdered them. They called me. My niece called me. Motherfucker, you asshole! I can't believe you fucking did that. Blah blah blah. I mean, it was. They didn't talk to me for probably a year. That's how incensed they were over a stupid sign in the yard. I was laughing. I'm like, who cares? Put a Bill Clinton sign in my yard. Whatever. I'll go. I'll go out and pee on it and take a picture with my leg lifted up like it's a dog. Whatever. Have fun. But so, anyways, little background. That's my my family, and.
Wow.
Amy comes from 18 kids herself, 18 brothers and sisters, correct, Amundo?
Yep.
But
Sure.
most of yours are somewhat conservative, aren't they?
Yeah, all of my brothers and sisters are. Some of my younger nieces are not.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to this little topic here. Netanyahu claims victory.
When I started hearing, oh, he's trailing, Netanyahu's trailing, the exit polls say he's trailing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, there's absolutely no way he's trailing. No way. I knew then and there that he was at least going to tie or destroy the left. There's just there was no way he was losing, especially since it came out that, American taxpayer dollars may have been misappropriated to help, defeat. How outrageous is that a sitting president is going to allow funds to go to defeat a sitting prime minister of one of our allies?
Right, and especially they didn't want him to come and speak to Congress because they didn't want to have any kind of influence on the election.
On the election.
Well, imagine
That's what they said.
had tried to help Romney and sent money over here to help Romney's reelection. Can you imagine just the outrage from the leftists?
Absolutely.
Right.
They would have lost their mind. They would have been frothing at the mouth, head spinning, eyes glowing. I mean, they just would have lost their ever-loving minds.
it's amazing the double standard they have, because we can't influence their election by having him here, but we're going to send hundreds of thousands of dollars and help bus in Arabs to the polls to try to make sure that we get Netanyahu booted out.
They really forget that we have the internet and that we have social media, and I think social media and what just happened with Netanyahu is the #1 reason they're trying to push through net neutrality, because everything that I keep hearing about, oh well, you said this was going to happen and it never did. You said this was going to happen and it never did. I said, yeah, do you know why it never happened? Because we as a collective rose up and made sure that it didn't happen. Whatever we did not want unconstitutional things to happen, we made sure we voiced our opinions. We voiced it loud and proud, and things didn't go through. That doesn't mean that they didn't try to put them through. So now with Netanyahu, I mean, how much support was he getting on social media? I mean, they even had the poll that Americans had more respect for Netanyahu than they did for Obama. That doesn't sit well with the Marxist in chief. I like to call him the slanderer of peace.
You than I have for Obama.
What's that?
The man hasn't earned any sort of respect ever.
I know.
Well, he has earned respect from the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Give him that, right?
Although and I'm going to be Breton the conspiracy theory here for a second. The conspiracy theory part. A lot of people mock us when we say that. I believe that he's a Muslim. I believe that he still practices the Muslim. He still practices Islam. Because if you leave Islam, if you know anything about it, if you leave Islam, you're an apostate. They're supposed to kill you. Well, now that he's going out of office and he doesn't have that much time left, and ISIS is, being kind of challenged, now all of a sudden we have death threats against Obama from Muslim radicals. So I'm like, okay, so now are they trying to kill him because he is an apostate and they can't get much more out of him anymore?
Well, I've been predicting this for years, and I'm not backing off this either, is that in some time in this last 2 years of his presidency, and I think it'll come up this summer, he is going to, quote, convert to his father's religion. And because of a couple reasons. Well, and not that is like some horrible thing as far as, oh my God, he's going to turn our country into Islam, but for this reason, we have, since 1948, been trying to have peace in the Middle East between the Arabs and all of that. And our president has always been seen, like we are, as the infidel. So when he, quote-unquote, converts to Islam, to his father's religion, he will be seen as a credible, viable negotiating partner in their eyes. And he will still be accepted by the Israeli people because even though he's Muslim, because he's the president of the United States. And that right there is what I think will cause them all to come together. I think he's going to do that. And then when he leaves office, if he leaves office this next election cycle, I also, taking Brett's theory too, I wouldn't put it past him to have some sort of manufactured crisis come up, and then he suspends elections for a period of time, and he needs to stay in office. But barring that, I think he will probably, as a Muslim, become president of the UN, and at that point move forward with the one world order type crap or whatever.
Well, you said bring them together. Bring who together?
The Israelis and the Palestinians. They need to have. They need. Here's
that'll never happen.
It will happen. It will happen. Can I tell you why?
That will never happen.
Can I tell you why?
That will never happen.
Can I tell you why?
You can tell me your theory as to why.
It's not a theory. And it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world if Netanyahu lost either. Can I tell you that? Let me ask you a question. Do both of you believe the Bible?
Don't proselytize, James.
I'm
But
wondering-
yes.
Do you, Sierra?
I'm not. No.
Okay.
Not as much.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. And Amy, as growing up as a Catholic, you do,
Well, I'm no longer a Catholic, but
right?
I'm a Christian.
Okay. And I was slapped with a ruler on the back of the hand a bunch of times while I was still going to the Catholic school, and I don't anymore. But let's just say that, for argument's sake, that the Bible is correct, and that this Armageddon thing is going to happen, and everybody is going to like circle around the Middle East and Israel and all that kind of crap, and there is this Antichrist, and he is going to reveal himself, blah, blah, blah. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that that's true. Well, it says that it will happen. He'll go into the temple and reveal himself to be, quote unquote, the Antichrist. Well, in order for that to happen, the temple has to be rebuilt on the same spot as the Dome of the Rock. The Dome of the Rock happens to be the second most religious place these Islamist people in the world, outside of Mecca. That's not going to happen. They're not going to build the temple. The Jews aren't. And according to their Bible and the regular Bible and all that, they claim that the temple is going to get rebuilt. You're not going to rebuild that temple as long as they're all fighting. You're going to have to give up half of Jerusalem. They're going to have peace, and they'll rebuild that temple. And the only reason why the Jews will fall for that and go for it is because they believe that the Messiah, their Messiah, who we would call Jesus and they call their Messiah, cannot come back until that temple is rebuilt, according to the way that these people all think. So that's
so decimating the current Arabs who call themselves Palestinians also would do that. Would be able to take it back.
They're not going to
by
wipe
destroying
out.
them.
Yeah, but they're not going to wipe out the Palestinians. There's not enough Israeli regulars.
The current Arabs who are calling themselves Palestinians, you mean?
I don't know. I'm just saying that I
They're
think
not the people that were there first.
no.
The Assyrians were actually there first.
Right, but they're not all going to.
They're not.
The Israelis are not going to sit there and wipe out the Palestinians.
Well, you never know.
They all want to get along. They want to get along. Their governments don't. So I'm just throwing out.
I don't believe that. You're talking about the Palestinians who voted in Hamas as their government. So how much do they want to get along with the Jews?
I
don't believe that for 1 nanosecond that they want to get along with the Jews.
I saw Obama get elected when I don't think that he actually did get elected. I think there was a lot of shit going on that caused the votes to come out the way they did. So I'm not going to say that the Palestinians all voted for Hamas. I don't think that came out right.
Not all Americans voted for Obama, according to the polls. Only 50% did, or 51% did.
Right, and the three of us.
But we know that 51% was bogus.
Right. Well, and I think that the three of us would probably agree that one of the reasons why, if it was legitimate, let's just say it was legitimate and Obama won. Okay, fine. If he did, I think that one of the reasons why was because a lot of conservatives set out and said, screw it. F you, Republican Party. If you're going to put up a milquetoast and you're not going to put up a conservative, sitting home. You get what you deserve. Because that's the way I feel next time. If they put up Bush, I'm sorry. I'll sit home. I heard Glenn Beck and a few of the others, for people like him or don't like him.
They will not sit home.
He gave up.
If it's Hillary Clinton or Elizabeth Warren, they will not sit home. And anyone who does deserves even more of what you've just gotten in the last 6 years. And I don't want to hear nothing about it if you sit at home.
What's that?
Would you sit home? Would you sit it out?
No, because there are other local elections that I'd have to vote in. But in voting for the president, I'd probably just do a write-in. Because, I mean, it's not going to matter anyway how I vote, because I know that elections are usually engineered to favor the party in power. I mean, that's how Obama, I'm determined that that's how he won, because he won over 100% in certain districts, and that's not even possible. So
Right.
I can guarantee that they'll make it so that whoever the Democratic candidate is, be it Hillary or Elizabeth Warren or whomever, it's going to be biased in their favor. But I mean, I can't in good conscience vote for another Bush.
Well, it won't be Bush.
God, I
It
hope
won't be
not.
Bush to begin with. Did you hear Ted Cruz saying he didn't officially say it, but he said it. Yeah, baby.
Sit at it, and that's good enough for us.
Yeah, and didn't Harvard?
Did you text Constitution to his 33733?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, he's legal.
Yes.
He can run.
All he has to do is hide his birth certificate.
That's true, right? That's true.
No, because the right never does stuff like that. The right comes out and tells you. I mean, I lean more towards the libertarian side, but I've been voting Republican for a long time, and I'm conservative in many ways. But I swing libertarian in some of the social things. But I'm going to stop there. Go ahead. Go ahead, James. What was your next topic?
All right. This, when I saw, okay, let me pull that up. When I saw this, it's just a simple little headline. Iran reportedly confronts U.S. officials at Geneva nuclear talks over GOP letter. I read that, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Iran confronts U.S. officials? Really? That's pretty ballsy. I'd be like any U.S. official to have Iran come up and confront us after the amount of terrorism and everything they export, and again, holding Pastor Saeed, and you're going to come up and confront us?
Well, why wouldn't
I would
they?
have said, unless you're telling me you're releasing our pastor, I don't want to hear a word of what you got to say. I'm sorry, there's nothing you can tell me that I'd be interested in short of that.
Yeah.
But as I said, why shouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? If they now know they have the upper hand because we have a milquetoast, which Romney was not, by the way. So funny because conservatives in Massachusetts. I was just talking to a bunch of them the other day down the park, and it's like people just don't know. Romney would have been a fantastic president. But
I agree. I think
we have a milquetoast at the helm, and we have we have traitors in the administration who support and kowtow and coddle terrorists. Why wouldn't they? They were all empowered now to come forth and disrespecting America. As Dick Cheney had said, he's weakened us worse than we can even remotely imagine. It's going to take decades to pull ourselves out of it.
Yep. All right. Next up, and this is just water cooler talk for nothing. Oregon, oh my God, I can't believe I live here, is the first state to adopt automatic voter registration. Now, I got to be honest with you. I love the way that we vote. As far as our home, like the ballots come to our house, sit down over a cup of coffee, go over all of it, fill it out, put it in the mail, and mail it back. If everybody gets just one ballot, as long as you're registered, I like it. I love voting that way. But what they're trying to do,
trust the mail?
huh? Vote by mail.
I said, you really trust the mail? After seeing the bags and packages being thrown over bridges and hidden and dumped and stuffed into back trunks of cars.
All right. Here's what else I love. $10 for what, please. Thank you.
Oh, he gets a latte for his wife.
We pull up to the gas station, and it's cold, and I crack that window down just about that much, and I hand my money out the window or the card, and I go, $20, please. Thank you. We don't pump our own gas here.
Oh, you can't pump. It's not legal.
Nope. Did you know that?
My brother will go over to Oregon because you guys don't have the grocery tax.
Right.
So he takes my friend, she's a teenager, she has a baby, so they go over there and buy the food for the kid. And he loves that. Every time he's over there, he makes sure to drive around so that he needs gas. Because he loves that you don't pump your own gas there.
I'm telling you. And it's cheaper than having somebody pump it for you. And I know that because when we go to Washington, my mom and, well, I said my whole family lives up in Seattle area. Whenever we go up there, it's like, yeah, it's a good 10, 20, 15, 20 cents a gallon cheaper. And we're hiring somebody to put it in our tank. So, yeah. What do you say?
Yeah, there's a couple of towns in Massachusetts that it's not legal to get out of the car. But
yeah.
For the most part,
One of the things,
we have option of both.
During the well, in Washington, the state of Washington, they've got the choice of both. So if you want somebody else to pump it for you, you got to pay like 50 cents a gallon more. So you're already up to like 70 cents.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's not more here for full serve.
No, I'm like I'm like, if I can drive there, why walk? If you can pump it for me, why should I? I'm lazy. I'm sorry. I am.
Yes, it doesn't cost any more for if you go to a full serve or do it yourself here.
No.
But there are some stations that will charge you 10 cents more if you use your card instead of paying in cash.
Right. Yeah, I'll do that too. But this thing here, okay, so 17 years after Oregon became, let me pull that up. I don't know if you guys can read that or not. 17 years after Oregon became the first state to hold all elections mail-in ballots, that's all of them, took another pioneering step on Monday to broaden participation by automatically registering people to vote. And I saw somewhere today that Obama was doing some speech, and he was talking about that too or something, making it mandatory to vote or some weird thing. But anyways, Governor Kate Brown, who is the first bisexual governor, openly bisexual governor we just had, and she was brought into office because of a criminal that the Democrats just voted in, I can't think of his name, Kitzhaber. And so during the election, all this stuff was coming out about improprieties about Kitzhaber's girlfriend, live-in wife, girlfriend, whatever she is, taking money from all this stuff. So everybody knew that there were some serious ethics violations, but yet the Oregon voted him back in. So 2 months later, he got relieved of his duties or whatever you call it. They fired him in Oregon, and so she was next up. And under the legislation, every adult citizen in Oregon who has interacted with the Department of Motor Vehicles. So you can interact with them, and you're an illegal alien, but you can come in and just get an Oregon card. You can vote. That's what that part's all about. It's going to add 300,000 new voters to the rolls. Pretty incredible.
And that's the only way that the Democrats win in 2016.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right, so next up, I was going to add music to this. Every time I talk about my man crush, Tim Tebow, I always put on Whitney Houston singing "Yes, Jesus Loves Me" because he pushes that, right? So he just tried out for the Philadelphia Eagles with my boy Chip Kelly, because he's from University of Oregon, former coach. And that's my team, the Eagles. So anyways, he's been working out with Tom Brady's quarterback guru. We gotta hope that he gets a job in the NFL so I can have my Tebow updates every week. Last year we had the Tebow Watch, and every single week I showed like all these teams that were losing. Like they'd go 1-8 and 1-9, 1-10. So I'd always play Yes Jesus Loves Me, and I'd have Tim Tebow on there, and I'd just, here's my Tebow watch. Why aren't they calling him? All right, it's my man crush. For the people who are falling asleep on this, 10 Ebola patients, possible Ebola patients, were just flown into America a couple days ago. 10. We saw what happened when one was flown in, and then the nurses get sick and stuff. This thing ain't dead yet. I'm sure it's not dead yet. This thing could spiral out of control before people even know it. Did you guys see this in the news? I'm standing at the water cooler, and I just brought it up to you guys.
My dog decided to stop trying to climb over to me.
Aww.
She loves doxies. She's a doxie.
This is my little Sadie.
Oh my goodness.
My fluffy girl.
It's a little dachshund.
She's cute.
How much does she weigh? How big?
Like, she's like maybe one.
She's got all that
She's
hair.
14 pounds.
14 pounds.
Yeah, she's got her winter coat on her, so she's a fluffy one. She's really fluffy.
Wow. Amazing.
People think she's like a miniature golden retriever or a miniature Irish setter. But she sits on the chair next to me, and she decided to catapult into me. I didn't see this one. I saw that at least 14 patients were at that Midwestern facility in Nebraska. So I didn't see that 10 more had been flown in.
I didn't see that. So you're saying that recently there's 14 in Nebraska?
Yeah, they said there were 14, but on Fox and Friends they were talking about, probably 3 or 4 days ago, they were talking about 14 total since it started, which I didn't know that there were that many.
Okay.
Of course, they're bringing them in left and right underneath the radar, just like this.
Well, I'm still concerned about our military, our soldiers being there. I think that's going to be a nightmare when they all come back.
You thought the VA was bad before. Try and being a military vet with Ebola.
Yeah, right.
No kidding, huh? Trying to get service? Forget about it.
Don't worry.
Leave Vinny from New York. Forget about it.
Hey, I'm sweating a lot. I'm like thinking I got Ebola. Forget about it. Go home and take an aspirin. Did you guys see this where the guy tried to into the cockpit?
This whack job. Yep.
I fly a fair amount, and I'll get on a plane literally, and sometimes think to myself, I'm a little loose nut. I go, man, I hope something goes on today. I want something to happen on the plane because I want to like get a scruff. I want to get into it, and but never.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Didn't Brad take away your man card?
Possibly.
Did Brett take away your man card?
It's official.
It's an inside joke, but we'll let you in. We'll let you in on the joke. There you go. We all did that test, Sierra. The test. How what was that test? You more like a man or a woman?
Do you think more like a man or a woman? And I scored 88%.
And I got like 87%. Yeah, 87 or 89% woman, and so did Jim.
I think 88% woman. So my man card.
88%, yeah.
And I think I got like 80-something% like a man.
Like a man.
And I was like, well, it's a good thing I already have a mustache, so I mean, I fit right in.
Oh, you're funny.
Oh yeah, yeah. You look like you're so manly.
So this guy.
Next week she'll come on. She'll have a little
paint one on.
My boyfriend always wants to draw a mustache on me every time I go over to his house, so I might let him. And do like a French accent or something. Oh, it'll be fabulous.
There you go.
That's funny.
Oui, oui, oh.
I took 2 years of French, and
my guy always wants me to shave my head like a high and tight.
I would be petrified to shave. If I shaved my head, I mean, I guess thank God for I've got like 45 baseball hats, but
It might just
That
give
kills
up.
it even, that kills it even quicker.
And I've got plenty of hair, kind of. I just have more forehead than I would like. So I will never, ever be on camera without a hat. I just won't. Or if
You just shave it all. It
should
won't
get
matter where your forehead
Wrap your hair
starts and
in
ends.
bangs. You'd look great.
do what? Put it in bangs?
Yeah, like the Anne Hathaway bangs from when she was in Devil Wears Prada. right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, and that so I would end up looking a lot more like Gilligan, actually. I used to get called Gilligan all the time.
Or Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber there with his bowl cut with the chops.
Yes, exactly.
Isn't that how he does it?
That is actually Brett's. What do you?
Oh yeah.
Profile
His
pic?
Monica there, his emoticon, whatever it is.
Yeah. All right, I'm taking this off. I'm not even going to play this. Do you want to see part of the video from this guy? You got to just see this for 2 seconds. This is the douchebag that he rushed the cockpit like 3 times, banging into it and screaming jihad, Allah Akbar, and all that crap just a couple days ago on the plane. All right, so here he is.
I'm sorry.
Don't massage him all night. What's your rent?
I'm baby, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Don't move, David. You're okay. We're gonna get you off this plane. We're gonna get you off this plane, buddy.
This is
Yeah, they should have been able to open the door and just throw him out mid-flight.
We're gonna get you off.
a couple big dudes on him too.
All right, buddy. We're gonna get you off. Relax and don't move. Don't move. Here he comes. Okay.
No,
Seth?
nobody. No, come on.
Don't fight, David.
Oh, no.
Don't fight. Don't fight.
Good. I got it. Appreciate it. All right, come on. No, I got it. No, please, get me up, please. Yeah, buddy, okay. I got him.
You got him? You got him?
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, please. All right, okay. My dad. It's gonna be okay.
All right. Now, I got to be honest with you, okay? My first reaction when I saw this was effing Muslim jihad punk. What the hell? And then when I saw the video, hold on. When I saw the video, my heart kind of felt for the guy. I broke for the guy a little bit. Like, you know, what I see in that is what comes all the way back to most of our problems we have in America, and that is mental health issues and our lack of helping people with mental health issues. That guy clearly had some mental health issues. He was not a whacked out religious zealot guy who was trying to jihad everything. That guy had mental health issues, and that my heart broke for him. And I just think we need to do a better job of helping those who cannot help themselves. There's my man card's gone.
Yeah, you lost your man card. It's gone. Absolutely gone.
But
I'm going to remind you every week. It's gone.
I feel that way. Am I wrong to feel that way about that guy after seeing that video?
No, I used to work with a lot of behaviorally challenged residents. I was at CNA, and a lot of them can't control themselves. So if they have an impulse, they have impulse control issues. So they just immediately act on it, no matter if it's violent, if it's verbal, whatever. So, you know, but they lived in a facility, and we were taking care of them. When these people, you know, are just running around, we see, you know, they're trying to hurt us, but they're not. They don't know what they're doing. They just had an impulse and they were acting on it.
That's someone in a facility. This is someone on a plane who actually was certified that they were, you know, based on a. I mean, someone who's mentally ill who isn't cognizant of what they're doing, isn't cognizant enough to go up and buy a plane ticket and go on the plane normal. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
I have no sympathy for someone like this.
I'd have to know the background.
I'm a cold-hearted bitch, Sierra.
No, don't worry about it. My mom would have said the exact same thing, and then we would have sat there arguing for half an hour about it. But no, I don't like you said. I don't know if he bought the ticket, if he had it bought for him, if he was with somebody, they were going somewhere together, and he just took off and did his own thing, or
Yeah, the full story hasn't come out.
I don't know what he did, but if he was just an idiot that he doesn't have any mental health issues other than being stupid, I mean that's one thing. But if he's like schizophrenic and hearing voices and he said, do that, that's a good idea. I mean, most of those people are relatively functional.
I didn't want to talk over you. Most
yes,
my problem with
yes, we are. I'm just kidding. I'm not that way, but I just do take Paxil.
my problem is that we've come to lump people who are truly mentally ill and truly have disabilities with whack jobs who are just weak. So they're just weak constitutions, they're just weak individuals, they just are weak. And they choose to be weak.
Those two Boston bombers, those guys, they were not mental patients. Those two were jihad assholes.
Right. I mean, but I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the 18-year-olds who get a disability, Social Security disability check because they have migraines. No, just because you're a fat, lazy bastard and you don't do anything to help yourself. You eat, Twinkies and Ho-Hos and McDonald's, and you're drinking diet soda, and you're getting headaches because you're a fat, lazy bastard. That's why you're a fat, lazy bastard, not because you're mentally ill. Okay? That's to me, that is as. My brother used to work at a check, he used to run like a check cashing place down in Florida. And there were people like that all the time coming up. It's all secured facility and everything. And one day he just looked at this kid. He's like, "Why are you getting a Social Security disability check?" "Oh, I get migraines." He's like, "You're 18 years old.
Take an exam and get over it."
Yeah, exactly. I'm working my ass off, so you fat, lazy bastard can sit on the couch playing video games, eating the garbage food, and you wonder why you're fat. You're fat because you're a disgustoid and you won't get off your ass to do anything like a normal person would. Sorry, hi.
Disgustoid. I love that. Sierra, meet Amy.
Hi.
You need your own time to just bust out and go off on everybody and everything.
I'm very tolerant, by the way. I believe it or not, I'm very tolerant. I was saying when you cut off the air when your internet went down, I just said I don't do stupid well. So don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining, because I will tell you, no, you're pissing on my leg. That's
and then I'll
how I am.
In the junk because that's disgusting. Who does that?
Sorry. Okay, Jim. What was next on that agenda of yours?
I almost can't. Shit, I almost can't even. I'm just going to put this up, and I may roll through this in about 5 seconds before you both beat my ass, because I was going to give credit. I say credit due. You should give credit when it's due. And oh fuck, you guys are just going to be like, what are you doing? Okay, at least I crossed out his face because I was going to throw up. That's that Al Franken. This Democrat Senator Tammy Baldwin, you got to give her some credit. She slashed pay and fires staff over deadly VA screw-ups. At least here's somebody who actually is. I appreciated what she did and what she said. So I thought, you know what? Here's Democrat Senator Tammy Baldwin says her office blew it. When do you ever hear Democrats say that? Staff repeatedly ignored allegations over prescription policies of the VA. Baldwin has promised to clean up her act by disciplining her staff and taking responsibility. So the report she commissioned to investigate her own office found that at all levels all this crap had been going on. And then, I'm not going to read all that. She said mistakes were made, and I'm taking the action that I need to assure the people of Wisconsin that we are not going to make these mistakes again, and I'll renew my reputation, blah, blah, blah. So on Friday, Baldwin stated that her chief of staff would receive a $14,000 pay cut. Her state director will be moved to the position of outreach boss. Another staffer was moved off the veterans issues. And so blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that's it. I just thought that she gives some credit where credit was due.
You know what? Good for her, because a lot of people, you know, when they investigate their own office, they find, oh, nothing happened. But, you know, you can be cynical and say a broke clock is right twice a day or whatever. But you know what? She did take initiative, and she is getting things fixed. When the report came out that said that there were major issues, she didn't say, oh, well, we'll just have to try harder. Let's incentivize our workers by giving them raises. You know, she didn't do that. She took the hammer to these people. And you know what? Good for her. I'll give her kudos.
Yeah, and the end of it here, she says, I accept responsibility. My name is on the door. So I thought, you know what,
a Democrat with a buck stops here attitude. That's, you know, that's good to see. And I don't care that she's Democrat. If she keeps, you know, doing her stuff, I think people should vote for her. I would advocate that people vote for her.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not going to spend more time on that, but I just thought, now I want to know about this. Geese falling from the freaking sky in your town. I want to know why.
I accept no response. Chemtrails. It's chemtrails and global warming, and people need to stop their cows from farting. Yeah.
As the icebergs are forming on the Cape Cod coast. Yeah.
But did you guys see?
Exactly.
That was pretty freaking crazy. Did you?
No, I have no idea what happened. This has happened a few times. When just thousands of dead fish would wash ashore. I don't know what's going on. If they all ate from something or drank water that was bad or something. I don't.
So it says here. See if I can get that out. 2,000 snow geese drop dead from the sky. Idaho wildlife officials retrieved 2,000 dead geese. The birds whose carcasses were collected over the weekend appeared to have died from avian cholera, the Department of Idaho said. Blah, blah, blah. The migratory birds were on the return leg from Mexico. They were hanging out down in Mexico, coming
That's
back.
the problem.
Into,
there you go.
Okay.
That tells you all you need to know. That's
You can't
why.
drink the water and you can't eat the food.
All right, that explains it. Biologists observed about 20 eagles in the vicinity of some of the carcasses. Because of a delayed incubation period, it's uncertain whether the eagles might be blah, blah, blah. They didn't go down. The eagles didn't go down to Mexico, so they'll be fine.
Well, they're smarter than geese are. They know. They can smell the air, and they'll be like, nope, we're not going that way.
That's true. All right, just because, now we don't always play Jody Miller. Have you ever seen Jody Miller, Sierra?
No, not that I can remember.
We don't always play her because she's not that funny. But this one was funny, so I thought, you know what, I watched it, and I'm going to play it. So let me put this up. Jody Miller. It's only about 2 minutes, minute and a half. I think you guys will like it. Get rid of that. Let me start it at the beginning.
Crow Day. Most radical. It's time to try something new.
Hey everybody, welcome to News Busted. I'm Jody Miller. Let's get started. The current cover of Time magazine depicts Hillary Clinton with devil horns. Can you believe that? Time magazine is still being published. Hillary Clinton's scandal is threatening to derail her upcoming campaign. Seems like what Hillary needs now is a new Bill Clinton sex scandal. At her press conference last week, Hillary Clinton said she used a private email account and home server for convenience, which is the same thing Bill said about Monica. Two suspected buyers destroyed Al Sharpton's financial documents. With this kind of luck, Sharpton may defeat Hillary Clinton in the Democrat primary. A Ferguson protest for the shooting of 2 police officers in Ferguson, Missouri. Attorney General Eric Holder called the shooting repugnant and inexcusable, and added that if he had to do it all over again, he would not have incited it. In an interview with NBC News, Iran's foreign minister renewed his country's vow to annihilate Israel, to which President Obama said, "Let's make a deal." A 93-year-old Rhode Island man has finally been awarded his high school diploma, but on the advice of his guidance counselor, he plans on attending a 2-year college. And finally, as we've mentioned before, Apple is about to release its new Apple Watch. Now, instead of checking your iPhone to see what time it is, you can just look at your wrist. Thanks for watching News Lesson, everybody.
Anyways, that's Jody Miller. Every once in a while.
I like her.
Jim likes her.
Well, I think she puts out some funny stuff once in a while, but we don't always.
You have to like that really dry humor.
Yeah, she does. All right, so almost wrapping up some stuff. Once in a while, we don't always do discussion pics or fun pictures and stuff, but I'm just going to throw some up real quick because we saw that one with the horns. Did you guys see that? You guys saw that, right?
I think it's much ado about nothing.
Yeah, a lot of people it said
poor placement. Other than anything, I think they could have republished it with her like moved to the left or the right or whatever. I think they just needed something to complain about, and that was there.
But I wonder if Time Magazine actually did it on purpose. You think that they would have?
They say they didn't. They probably did because they've done subliminal things like this before.
Yeah. I mean,
people are paying attention, kind of thing.
They could be.
How far off base are they? If they did that on purpose.
Well, they could.
They're not off base at all. But
I'm sure the Benghazi victims would have been like, "Yeah, I can see it."
Exactly, but I wonder if they're part of the Elizabeth Warren push group. I mean, maybe that's what they're. Who knows? Trying to do.
Well, I think they put them back in the news. I mean, they're so irrelevant nowadays. You know.
Right.
Or something like this, and he puts them back in the news, and everyone's talking about them.
Something controversial, so people will buy their magazine.
Yeah.
Exactly. Here's a typical liberal. I'd like your vote. Well, what do you have to offer? The power to take his money and give it to you. Sold.
Yeah.
America should empathize and show respect to its enemies. Email me the receipt.
Yeah, that's pretty much about right.
This is what we were saying before. Anybody, please accept these guys.
I hope somebody runs their dog. Amy, your dog, put him on the presidential ticket. Please, just anything.
Yeah. No kidding. I really don't think that the right is stupid enough to put another Bush up there, but we'll see.
I don't think it will be the right. I think it'll be either the moderates or the liberals who are pushing really hard to get Bush on the Republican ticket.
Yeah.
They know either way they win.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. They win if Hillary or Jeb gets in, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
They have there's no risk factor there.
Right. Good point. This picture, I love.
Chris, you're taunting me now. You're taunting me.
Tonto? No pun intended. That's his nickname, Tonto. I love that picture. And the thing that he said, best speaking event ever, this guy is really, really good with kids and with what he does. That was awesome. All I said was I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That
you can knock me over with weather.
Yeah. Enemies of liberalism. This is just something that happened this week, and nobody cares or pays attention to, but really they took 2 freaking jumbo jets to Los Angeles.
I posted on my Twitter an open question to anybody who can answer it. What is the carbon footprint of the first family taking 2 separate jets to the same location? So far, nobody's bothered to answer. I mean, there are plenty of replies, but nobody actually addressed and said, well, you know what? which is
They
essentially
never
all.
will, Sierra. They never have an answer.
Right.
Yeah, well, you're just an evil conservative, so yeah.
Right. And
Yeah,
you could
racist, bigot, racist.
you could actually be concerned about the carbon footprint, but they're not going to answer that. You
No,
could
it's comical. I find it comical now that everything they say is racist, racist, racist.
yeah.
And if
I laugh.
elected, it'll be sexist, sexist, sexist.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait for that one.
Right.
Self-feeding women everywhere.
I had to put this up for Amy. She's dating a Army Ranger who's training the Afghans right now. He's kind of like a Chris Peranto, actually, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This is for
I would
Brett.
say if Chris Toronto was like him, but, you know.
I want to make sure Brett sees this. Brett is our single, neurotic. He's our buddy. Trust me, as you get to know me, I just get weirder. I could just see Brett bringing home somebody like this, and he comes out and goes,
On a date with a chick like this?
"Oh my gosh, Mom, get over here."
That description actually fits me pretty well. Don't know that I'd lick the dishes because I'm pretty sure the cats get up on the counter and lick them. So I don't think I'd go that far, but yeah, just as you get to know me, it becomes weirder.
Well, all right. So I was going to call the show. Never mind. I can't even do it. I was going to say 2 chicks and a dick because I could just be. That's how I was going to call the show, but I didn't know you well enough to say it. So.
Oh my God! You so should have.
Maybe. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, except for bears. Bears will kill you. I thought that was cute.
Bears will definitely kill you.
But I failed the card. Keep calm, America. We know what we're doing. Exactly. Now,
traitorous piece of crap.
Last thing. We always try to finish on a positive story, a positive note. And Amy and I were laughing because when we were listening to your show the other day, you finished on a positive note. We both thought, well, that's what we do. I think that's awesome. That kind of exemplifies a conservative, I think, because we don't want to bash people. We don't want to sit here and spend our time shaking our head and our finger going, oh my God, can you believe these dirtbags? We really do want, I would love to run the whole show on positive stuff. But unfortunately, we're swimming in all this garbage. So at least I always like to finish on some sort of positive note. And Amy texted me something the other day when you were doing that. It was just so funny because it's exactly like something we would have done. Here's a positive story. This homeowner shot the shit out of somebody in their front room because it's like.
Well,
I said to Jim, I said, are you sure are you sure she's gonna fit in? You're like, is she gonna be the, fit in with the kind of dynamic of it? And then you did that. I said, okay, yep.
Well,
She fits in.
Amy tuned in your show right when you said something like, I don't like to see the Ferguson shootings, and I don't like to see this shootings and that shootings. But so Amy sends me a message, goes, really, Jim is, and I go, no. She just said that if you don't.
Yeah, no, it was the way you said it. You said I didn't agree with the shootings or something. It's the way you had said it, but I didn't hear it before that.
And I said no. She
had to talk about it.
If you don't grow your children upright and you don't teach them when they're young, this kind of crap is going to happen. So I said, she's saying she doesn't want any kind of shootings.
Right.
But if you are going to grow your children up to be dirtbags, it's going to happen. And then when she heard your last story, she's like, oh, that's awesome, or something like. She just redeemed herself because she only heard part of what you said. If you heard all of what she said, you would have agreed with it.
I don't want to report those stories. I don't want to have to, but they're in the news because they do happen, and that's the saddest part. Is that If we would just get better parental involvement, if we would just put a bigger emphasis on that in this country, we wouldn't have these kinds of issues. Because gun violence, like I said, is not a gun problem. It's an apathy problem. People, parents aren't teaching their kids to, have a proper value for human life. So stuff like this happens.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's what I was saying. I said if you had heard the whole thing that Sierra said, you would have been nodding your head. Oh, okay, good. So we were just laughing our ass off when you said the positive story was that this person shot somebody. It was funny. It's like.
But sometimes that is a positive because, like you said, someone's a dirtball and is trying to hurt somebody. There's no love lost for me if they get their head blown off. It's just survival of the fittest.
Groin, because I think she shot him in the abdomen and the groin, which he'll only do that the one time.
Yeah,
Exactly. So this last quote unquote positive story, I changed it because it's not really a positive story, to be honest with you. I was gonna do I loved that the basketball player stopped the game and went over and helped that autistic cheerleader. But I mean, when we do our show, if something is 4 or 5 days old, it's like, okay, it's already old. So what do you do?
Yeah, it's like beating a dead horse.
Right. And
picking the carcass of the news.
Yes. And this just really came out, and there's a guy that I subscribe on his page, and I don't listen to everything he says, but once in a while something comes up that's thoughtful. And I changed it from positive story let's end on a thoughtful note, because he did this kind of a cool video, and it touched me because when I take a vacation, 90% of the time I got my laptop with me. I'm still working. I'm still doing that stuff. I am not present too many times in my life and my job. It's like Lisa will say she said in the past, she goes, if you died right now, the girls are going to think that they're just going to remember you with your computer on your lap, and I'm like, God, that's so sad. Really? No, that's not true. But is it true? So this kind of hit me. So let's play this. I think you'll like this. Start over. There we go. Let me know if that's too loud.
I read a study yesterday. It said that last year, more than half of us actually chose not to take our full vacations from our jobs. Question: don't you think it's crazy that so many of us go into work even when we don't need to be there? Times we could be on the beach buried in sand or traveling the earth. We spend it in the office traveling from desk to desk, buried in paperwork. See, in this chaotic world, everything goes so fast. We're so busy, seems like everyone's middle name is multitask. But now before you go and act all holier than thou, how many extra tabs do you have open on your computer right now? See, we all need time to get away from the race for our family, friends, for the sake of our mental state. Time to rewind, recharge, and reconnect. Not reporting to the office on emails that should be on redirect. Because life, ladies and gentlemen, is all about moments. No one in history has ever been able to hold on to one. Not a single soul. And you never get them back. See? There one goes. No do-over, no rewind, no DVD root menu to skip to a previous scene. Ask yourself, how many trips did you almost take? How many sights have you almost seen? How many moments have you lost thinking about the next one, thinking that once you get this or get there, maybe that will be the best one? Life has taught me that all we will ever have is now. But let me be perfectly clear. I'm not saying to quit your job, even though I know you deserve a 6-month vacation twice a year. But how about small steps, short trips, with long dances, no distractions, spend time with family instead of coworkers, meditation instead of aggravation, replace our screensavers with sunrises, palm pilots with palm trees, jam copy machines with... Man, I really hate jam copy machines. The most precious thing we have in life are moments. Let's make the most of them before they disappear. Let's see the world while we still can, and cherish those while they're still here. Because when our lives are almost over, it won't matter how much money we made, or hours we worked, or times we got employee of the month. What we will look back on are the memories we made, the hours we spent with those we loved, and were we father of the month, mother of the year, friend of a lifetime. Holidays should be a time where we go away and come together. From now on, let's take our whole vacation and be fully present, creating memories that will last forever.
Yes. Guilty as charged. I am.
I never take my full vacation. Never. I always carry over about 3 or 4 weeks. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This makes me feel so bad because, you know, my boyfriend gets off work at 5, and, you know, I'll go over to his house and hang out with him, and I'll have my phone and my laptop and, you know, a notepad and some books I have to read for a radio show, and, you know, I'll be working while I'm there, and I do feel bad because we don't spend enough time with the people that we love, and when they're gone, you're like, where did that time go? And it's because you spend it doing other things instead of spend it, you know, making memories.
It's the truth.
Well, I'm glad that 2 women agreed with me then, because I was starting to feel all.
Is that the guy that was on Glenn Beck, Prince EA?
Yes.
Okay, I knew that face was familiar.
Yeah. Yep, that's him. He's done a couple of pretty cool videos, one on time and stuff like that. But yeah, that's him.
Cool.
So, all right. So before we let her go, what anything else? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
No.
I hope that it I have no idea what's going on, but every single time I speak, like when I'm speaking, can you guys see me, or is there a blue screen?
No,
We can see you.
Really? Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I just I'm looking into a blue screen, and I'm the haze. I'm in the haze behind it. So we'll see. Anyways.
Nope, we can see you.
Cool. I'm surprised that Brett didn't call. He was going to call.
That was probably him trying.
Yeah, it might have been. There was a couple of calls. Like one of them I tried to call right before the show started, and I hit the red phone instead of the green. I hung up on him.
Oh, you're good.
I'm new here. Come on, I'm learning. No, I'm just kidding. So anyways, all right. So the way that we end the show and take it out, so don't hang up on us though yet, Sierra, when I say goodbye and stuff like that, because we're still on, but I'll stop the broadcast. And Amy never, ever, ever, ever sings because she claims she doesn't know the song. And you don't have to sing either, but...
You don't want to hear me sing, so that's okay.
I'm not going to sing because I don't sing by myself. Oh, night. No, I'm just kidding. But
No, I've never heard this song before you started playing it.
Do you know where the song became famous? I believe it became famous. Dandy Don Meredith on Monday Night Football when he was doing Monday Night Football with Howard.
Cosell?
Yes, Howard Cosell. And so towards the end of the show, he would say, "Turn out the lights, party's over," and he would do his country thing, you know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that was a fun time.
I wasn't watching football back then, and if you played country around here back then, you would have gotten your ass kicked. So.
All right, so that's the show. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. And I'm going to end this.
The beauty queen wave.
Yeah. I'm not going there. Not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do it very well, so that's good.
Thank God.